Again, been the big point of emphasis for you guys this week to kind of rebound from last week?
Yeah, obviously last week was a bummer, but this week's a new week. That week's is over with. We just try to flush that and just continue to go 1-0.
When teams go, Indiana probably operates at RPO at maybe a higher level than a lot of teams, but when they have those quick hitters, what can you do as a defensive front to still try to generate pressure when that ball's coming out quickly?
Yeah, obviously RPOs are more like run. We just got to do a better job in the run game and, fly run to the ball, everybody run to the ball, 11 hats on the ball.
What kind of stands out about USC's offense, when you guys watch them? What are they good at?
Yeah, very explosive. They got very good players, good skilled players. I think they just do everything well. Obviously they're a good team and they're good up front. Really got a lot of good players and I'm excited for this weekend.
Are they similar or a lot different than Indiana?
I say they got some similarities for sure, but they do their offense in a very different ways. They like to run the ball and they like to open up the run game so they can do it in the pass game. So, some similarities but very different in some ways.
Brett Bielema, he said one thing he said, on Sunday, you guys were pissed. You guys weren't happy, bopping to the music. Just kind of what do you think the locker room was like, over the last few days since that loss?
Yeah, I'll say very disappointed, in each other, and I feel like, the more we come together, and the more we, just learn how to just practice and, bounce back for that game and, be ready for the moment next time, the more we'll be better off.
What goes into not letting a loss like that bleed over into the next week and into the next game?
Say it one more time.
What goes into a game like that, not letting that affect next week or the next game?
Yeah, a lot of people try to do a lot of things different. I just think we just stay true to who we are and then, continue to practice hard, just stay true to our culture.
So far this year, what have you liked about your play and what do you also want to improve though?
I think I've been playing pretty physical for the most part, but, still a lot of growth and still a lot to get done. So I'm just working on my fundamentals, consistently doing the right things routinely. So just a lot of ball left and a lot of, games left, and just got to get better each game.
We haven't seen teams have that kind of success on the ground against you guys in a little bit. What went into maybe some of the breakdowns that allowed them to kind of have that much success running?
Yeah, I just feel like, India had a good game plan against us, and, obviously we didn't respond well, and, that was the result. It is what it is, but, we're on to a new week, and I still believe in this team. I still believe in these players. I believe we have a lot of good players, and, whatever they want, I'll do whatever for those guys, and I'm just excited for this weekend.
Can I ask you about Leon? He's made some couple plays here in the last few games. What have you seen his growth since getting here on campus to now being a little versatile and being able to make some of those plays?
Yeah, Leon, obviously a good player. He stepped up to that role and taking more accountability for who he is and, being in that position. I feel like, he's ready for whoever, and I'm just excited for, the growth for the season. Him as a player.
What's that do for you when you have on the other side of you that combo of Leon and Joe, of Alec, Daniel when he's healthy?
Right.
What's that do to maybe get you in some advantageous situations?
Yeah, it just opens up the defense for sure. Like when you have good players like that, making plays and opens up a lot of stuff for the defense, and those guys are really good. I'm excited for those guys, and we have to all stay healthy. Keep stay together and play hard every weekend.
You played with some good defensive linemen during your time here. What does James do well that kind of helps open up things for you, or what have you observed about him since he's been here?
Dominant player, very dominant, very good with his hands. Does his job all the time, routinely, make the routine plays, really physical player. A lot of teams, it's hard to, block that. And, not only on the field, but he's a good leader off the field, and a lot of people on the team feed off of that.
Are you facing a lot of double teams this year? Are you seeing that on the field? Or?
Yeah, a little bit. But it doesn't matter what. I get a double team, single block. It's just I got to go there and do my job, execute.
Does that kind of free up other people when you're getting doubled? Or?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely does, and allows a lot of people on the team, on the defense to make plays.
Thanks, Gabe.
No.